Listeners, I promised you early this morning that we would have the Honourable Darren Grimwade, State Member for Morayfield, in the studio today, and I'm happy to say he is here right now. Good morning, Darren.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners, and thanks for having me again.
Yeah, we like to hear from you and what's happening in our wonderful area. So, Darren, I'm going to hand over to you now, and you're going to tell us.
Oh, well, thank you very much, and firstly, congratulations to the 101.5 team who were elected at their AGM on the weekend. It was great to be at that event and see all the excitement of people that are supporting the radio station, and, you know, the continued support that it keeps getting year in, year out.
Yeah,
so
it was a fabulous turn-up.
There was, and it just goes to show you that, you know, when the community wants something done and they want that information locally, they'll come out in support of it, and you know, it was great to see. So.
Yeah, it was, and we do thank you for being there as well.
No problem at all. Now, just a few things for the listeners that might be of interest, and particularly those that are in community groups. We get a lot of requests, being a state member for the local area, from community groups for funding and looking for small things of, you know, small grants to assist little things such as computers or volunteer grants and things like that. I just want to remind the listeners and for those out in the community that the state government at the moment has actually got a community grants program going. So that's grants that are available up to $5,000 for small things such as, you know, those things we spoke about before, like computers and upgrading software, white goods, things like that they might need to keep that community group rolling. Yep. There's also some bigger grants up to $15,000 for, you know, substantial projects for things like food preparation areas and compliance and things like that. So those are open at the moment, and they actually close on the 4th of December. So I want to encourage all the community groups that might be listening to log on. It's an easy website. It's just communities.queensland.gov.au. Or get in contact with, you know, with 109.5 or my office. That's fine. Yeah. By Monday the 4th of December. It's an easy online application process, so there's no sort of paperwork and, you know, red tape around it. You just apply online, and hopefully we can get a few of those grants out to local community groups around this area.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Darren, we don't have to write a great big spiel about why we want it or anything. We just actually fill in the blanks?
Yeah, my understanding is it's an online portal, so it's a matter of the details you're after. They are small grants, so it's, you know, just a bit of requirement around, you know, obviously proving the legitimacy of the group, what it's going to be used for, sort of how it will benefit the community, and then that process goes through the selection of, you know, making sure that obviously we are holding to account the funds when it comes to benefiting the community. But, you know, as I get around, including this weekend, as I got around, there's a lot of groups that just need little small things, really, you know, a couple of $1,000s for this, and, you know, a new fridge for the volunteers and those sorts of things, and these small equipment and these community grants are a big help towards those sorts of things.
And is there a time limit on when that money has got to be spent?
I'm not sure of those details at the moment. The cut-off date to apply is the 4th of December, so, I mean, I'm sure it would have an acquittal date. Being small equipment grants, though, I mean, they're not as rigorous as the bigger ones, where there's, you know, things we've got to build and those sorts of things. So normally acquitting the small grants of buying a fridge or buying some equipment and things like that can be done sort of straight away, and I'm sure that most of the community groups, once they're awarded, will be straight out there buying their gear anyway. So, yeah.
I know any community groups.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Most definitely.
Yeah, okay, that's great.
And the other one just that we were involved in yesterday, that our local government Minister, David Christofoli, announced that one of our election promises again was to tidy up our community, so sticking with that community theme, and that is to remove graffiti and empower communities and councils to remove graffiti. We fought hard, you know, us local members around here, to ensure that our region got a fair share, and I'm advised that, you know, the Moreton Bay Regional Council will be getting $110,000 of that package, which is quite a substantial amount to assist them in removing graffiti from our community. So again, it's another one of those little programs that's, you know, designed to keep our communities not only safer, but cleaner, and a nice place to live and work and education.
Great, yeah. What else have you got there? You were busy.
I've got a few things going on at the moment, so I'll keep going if you like.
Please.
There's lots of things on at the moment, and of interest for those listeners that like to get in contact with me and find out what's happening and what's happening locally and grants and those sorts of things. I've actually launched my website last week.
Oh, good.
As another form of you know, access to Darren and communication to my office.
Yeah.
So residents, the listeners can log on to www.darrengrimwade.com.au darren.com.au, just my name.
Easy.
Easy one. And log on there, and there's a whole range of different things that you can do, from local things that are happening, announcements that are happening, media releases, but there's also things like an online porthole or an online office where people can access information and data such as requesting photocopying for non-profit organisations, borrowing one of my marquees. I've got a couple of marquees that I've handed out to community groups. We've got things like applying for a JP. If you're becoming a JP, we can handle that through our office. Congratulatory letters to people, things like that. So there's a number of things that people can cipher through there and obtain and apply for on there. And obviously, a photo gallery as well for people to see what Darren's been doing out and about. And some really good stuff on there. So I encourage everyone to get on, have a look at that website. Stay in touch, and it's just one of those other areas, including the the website now, the Facebook, the mobile offices I do, the door knocking. It's these sort of being out in the community and making myself accessible for people to be able to access us.
That's great. And why wouldn't we use the technology that we've got, hey? That we fought to get.
Yeah, well, it's a bit like that. People find it a lot easier these days to jump on a website and check what's going on in their own time, or to jump on a Facebook and give us their feedback than what they might actually coming in the office or ringing the office and things like that. So, as technology evolves, it's good to keep up with it and give people that chance to keep in contact. Yeah,
no, that's good. And Darren, I must say that you were at the chaplaincy breakfast last Friday morning as well, and I think you and Wyatt and a whole lot of the councillors, of course, were there. It's just amazing that you find time to get out there and about. I sometimes feel for your families, actually.
Yeah, well, look, it's a tough gig, sort of getting around and visiting all the community groups and trying to be out in the community as much as you can, separate to our parliamentary commitments and committees and things like that.
A lot of things,
But as a person, I've always said that where people invite me to something and where I've got nothing else on or I haven't got parliamentary commitments, I'll be there. And the chaplaincy one was a great one. People understand I'm a pretty big fan of the chaplains, and I rode recently. I think one of the times I came in here, I spoke about the spin-off with Morayfield State School, where I went and fundraised there with riding a stationary static bike, and we've done the frontline dinner the week before this, and now this one this weekend. There's a lot of things that we're doing for chaplaincy, and those guys, they just do a fantastic job in our schools of making sure that kids have got an ear to be listened to.
Just someone to chat to.
Absolutely. Yeah. So always supporting that cause for sure.
Yeah, that's lovely. We actually had Hog's Breath online with us this year too, and they were just fantastic out in the back. Nobody even saw them, Darren, but they were there working real hard.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, as you get around to most of these functions and fundraisers and community groups, there's a lot of these people that sort of just in the background go about their business and supporting things, and we're very lucky in this region, particularly Morayfield and Caboolture, to have a lot of people that are actually actively involved, and there's some very good things and some good signs of people getting involved and making sure that our communities are a great place.
Yeah, no, it was heartwarming to get the response that we got, so that was great. Okay, I got off the track a little minute there, sorry. Come back to what you're up to.
Yeah, well, the only other thing I'll touch on just today, we're still doing a couple of programs around, again, we stick to that community area of responsibility, and, people will know that I've actually been out actively doing the Hoon Watch program. It was in the paper this week, and, we've been out at shopping malls doing displays and with the local police officers around town handing out information. It's about, establishing that Hoon Watch line that people can ring up, 13 Hoon. And what it's about is, we've had a fair bit of contact where people are fed up with Hoons, doing their burnouts and smoking up on the streets and these sorts of things, and it's time to crack down on them. So it just came at very good timing that the government's obviously just moved through the cabinet, new tougher penalties for those that disturb our communities and antisocial behaviour. So for those that are hooning now, we'll actually look at that. If someone is caught hooning as a first offence, we'll actually take their car off them for 3 months. If they're caught again within 5 years, we can actually take their car off them and sell it or crush it. So that they will be the toughest penalties in Australia for hooning. So that's been one of the programs that I've been working with the Neighbourhood Watch, again, some more community groups getting out there, spreading the word, delivering these flyers that we've got printed around about how people can report hoons and how we can crack down on them, and that's been one of the programs that we've been sort of working on. In fact, today I'll be this afternoon at around 2:30, I think I am, down at Burpengary Central Shopping Centre again with my stall up there, handing out flyers and talking to local residents about how they can get on board and make their community safe as well. So again, it's another bit of a program we're running. And I'll just finish on the last one I've got on my list of things to do here, and that is to thank the Morayfield State School. Last week I was lucky enough, I spoke about this in Parliament, I was lucky enough to be a teacher for a day as part of World Teachers Day, and what an experience that was. My night started sort of the night before, if you like, as I started to develop my C2C and putting my lesson plans together, the whole kit and caboodle, and to go to that class and to work with Mr. Edie, the grade 3 teacher there, was just fantastic. The kids in that class, I can assure you, are very lucky to have a teacher so dedicated and hard-working as him. He's a great guy, and the kids loved it. We did, poetry, and we did multiplication by 5, and we played a few games. I got to do the playground duty with the teacher at lunchtime, and it was just really fantastic to see him and see where the kids are at and their learning and the resources that the teachers get and all those sorts of things throughout the day. And I just wanted to thank them and Vicky Garn, the principal, for allowing me in for the day, and for the kids who gave me a lovely card at the end of it. Who, it was just one of those things that you sort of take a bit away from an experience like that in relation to the services.
And the kids remember it, especially grade 3ers. I mean, they're just at that beautiful age, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
They know everything.
It was very interesting because at that age they're sort of intent on learning and really intrigued on who this guy is and what a parliamentarian is and what they do, and they were great. I mean, they gave me my challenges and they gave me a bit of a rough time doing my poetry and what have you, but we actually got through it and had some fun sort of brainstorming and coming up with some great ideas. So it was really fantastic. And as I said, if people go to my website there, all my speeches from Parliament are available on there as well.
Good.
And I actually spoke about this last Wednesday or Thursday in Parliament and spoke about my experience as one of the little 3-minute speeches that I get. And it was just a fantastic experience. So,
good.
Yeah.
Well done. Darren, if that's all that you've got for me, I don't have any of the hard questions to ask. And I know that a little while ago we said that if anybody wanted some questions answered, if they'd like to phone into the station, we won't let them attack you on air, but if they wanted something put to you, by all means give us a call and let us know, because I'm sure Darren would be only too happy to answer them.
Yeah, absolutely. The last 2 or 3 times I've come in now that's been proposed, and I'm more than happy to do that, and for people to pose their questions and me to give an answer, and that's how we operate as a government. We're not shying away from some tough decisions we've had to make, and we're not shying away from anything we're doing.
And there are a lot of tough decisions out there.
Yeah, there are, and for me, I'm happy to answer the questions and tell people where we're taking Queensland and where we're moving it forward. There's a lot of exciting things happening at the moment, particularly around the economy and the property market. I was speaking to a property agent this morning who told me that, in her opinion, that the tides are starting to turn on the economy, and there's lots of buyer activity happening around Morayfield, Caboolture. Tourism's starting to get a real kick, with some of the things the government are doing in relation to, the Gold Coast and the new port and the terminal down there, and the Cairns and tourism up there where they hold the big summit, and there's some really good signs around those 4 pillars that the government's trying to grow, and tourism being one of those, and construction being the other, and of course resources and agriculture. But there are some things that are the fruits of what we're starting to do are starting to actually blossom
to bear
now.
fruit.
And I think that as we start moving forward, where we're taking this state forward, people will have a lot to be excited about and to look forward through for the next year or 2 with where we're going. So always happy to take those questions.
Yep. Well, we'll look forward to anybody wanting to do that, and if they get the questions in, we'll certainly keep them tagged here for Darren when he comes in next. But I think we're just about out of time, Darren, but I do thank you very much, because we know that you guys are busy, and we do thank you for coming and keeping our listeners up to speed.
Yeah, no worries, and thanks for having me. Always happy to be here, and look forward to the next time that I'm in.
Yeah, the Honourable Darren Grimwade, our State Member for Morayfield, giving of his time, so make sure you give him some questions next time he comes in, hey? Thank you, Darren.